We've had some experience with the bounty laws, and Canadians are eligible to make whistleblowing disclosures and seek bounties under the Dodd-Frank law. In fact, Canada is one of the countries that makes the most disclosures. I'm not a big fan of them. To start with the reason I'm concerns about them is that at least the Government Accountability Project, I think with a lot of the NGOs, our first principle is to protect against retaliation, do no harm when you're working with a whistleblower. And the bounty laws have made it harder for us to champion free speech rights because instead of being kind of the profiles encourage, the employers paint the whistleblowers as, Judases, whispering in the government's ear to get money for it, betraying their community to get money. And so it makes it harder for us to advocate. And then it makes the employers more paranoid. They're much more nervous. And the studies have shown that the rates of retaliation have increased significantly in the U.S. In the corporate level since we passed the Dodd-Frank law, even though it included very strong whistleblower protections in it. So I'm not sure that it helps whistleblowers that much. I think it's been a lot more beneficial for whistleblower lawyers. They love it because it's easy money for them. They can just write up the charges and let the government do all the work, and then they get a percentage of their client's bounty, and plus they get the time that they spent writing up the charges. And whistleblower law firms were popping up in Washington, D.C. like weeds in the springtime after the bounty law was passed. But I'm not so sure that it really helps the whistleblowers. And it has brought in a few $1 billion since in the last decade. But I think a superior model that does involve commercial recoveries and actually a lot larger ones is our False Claims Act. That's the law that empowers whistleblowers to file whistleblowing lawsuits and fight and win the battle against fraud on behalf of the taxpayer. They don't just talk to the government and let them take over. They file the suit. The government can join in and take the leadership in it, but the whistleblowers are on the front lines. And that hasn't sparked the backlash because it's these people who pretty much given up their career to fight the lawsuit. And it's also been much more effective. We've gone from about $10 million a year in civil fraud recoveries for government contractors in 1986, when this law was born again, to over $1.5 billion a year now, thanks to whistleblower lawsuits. And it's getting better and better. It's been over $3 billion for most of the last 5 years. So there is some opportunity to make money from whistleblowing, but I don't think that it should be through bounties. I think it should be through fighting and winning battles on behalf of the public and breaking the government's monopoly on law enforcement, setting up a citizen enforcement channel for freedom of speech.